We all have political opinions today. Seems like everybody thinks they're a pundit or an expert on the subject. But I don't think many of us have spent as much time studying governmental structure as our founding fathers did. Although not perfect, I believe they established a governing structure that is better than any other. They understood something that I think we've seemed to have forgotten. Our founding fathers understood that government was a system of ruling, and they desired to find a balance between control and correction. On one extreme of the equation, you have what's called tyranny, ruler's law. That's what they were trying to escape from. But then on the other opposite end of the spectrum, you have what some today seem to desire, and that is anarchy, which is no law whatsoever. So you have what most of our politicians desire, ruler's law. They want to control everything. And then you have some people who don't want any type of law. Our founding fathers desired a people's law, a representative government, not a democracy, which is what there's been an attempt to brainwash Americans into thinking that we're a democracy. No, on the last day of the Constitutional Convention, Benjamin Franklin was asked by a woman, "So what type of government do we have?" And he famously said, "A republic, if you can keep it." He also is noted for saying that there's a natural inclination in mankind to kingly government. But we need to be careful, because a government that's big enough to give us everything we want is also big enough to take everything we have. They wanted to find the balance between security and liberty. They understood these things. Interestingly, Israel in the Bible, they come to Samuel and they had a request. Give us a king like all other nations. It broke Samuel's heart. It was when God told him, well, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me. The Bible also tells us that in the last days, at the end of time, people are going to want a kingly type leader. He's known as the Antichrist in prophecy. No, Israel said, give us a king. Now, as our founding fathers studied this, trying to find this balance, I believe they used the Bible as a model, Israel in particular. They were one nation under God. There was Moses and Aaron, kind of your president, vice president. There was not necessarily a Senate and a Congress, but the people, leaders were divided underneath them by thousands, hundreds, fifties, tens, and so forth, down to every family had a head, and there was this sense of strong local government, and everything was based around the law. Yeah, our founders wanted a people's law. That's why we hear of the people, by the people, for the people. And law was important. It seems today that law is becoming less and less important, and the idea of a republic is becoming less and less important. And so you have the extremes, the politicians who want to rule and control everything, the anarchists who don't want any law whatsoever. They just want chaos and confusion. And it's time for us, we the people again, to remember this when we go to the ballot box. And also we need to understand that we need to be careful what we ask for. Israel regretted it. And I believe if we're not careful, we're going to slowly, drip, 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 lose all of our liberties, and we too will regret it. We need to get back to one nation under God. And we need to get back to electing leaders that believe in a republic, not tyranny, not anarchy, but people's law, whereby we, one nation under God, can be free to live our lives according to the law.